The invite?
The invite,
It's our meeting,
our
yeah,
next meeting.
unfortunately. Wanted to go to that.
Well, I'm thinking we could change the meeting if we need to.
The invite.
So maybe we should just talk about that.
Yes. It's an email that you got this morning.
So I'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the pledge of allegiance. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A roll call.
Mochler,
Here.
Graylobe,
Here.
Smith. Here. Teasy,
Here.
Hammond.
Here.
Are there any conflicts of interest to declare? All right, hearing none. Approve the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Should we discuss the conflict between the state meeting or the and the and perhaps reschedule a meeting?
Could be,
Okay,
it might be, everybody doesn't know about what it is. It's something, an email we got this morning. Did you have a heads up on this, Carrie, or?
What meeting is this?
Okay, there's an incident management course for senior officials, including commissioners and county officials.
Okay,
It's from 8:30 to noon on the last Tuesday, the 28th.
okay.
So it's the same time as our meeting here. If there were. Have you been to one of these before, Travis?
I don't think so.
It's a Zoom meeting sort of situation, but you have to pre-register for it.
Nope, I don't think I've been to this.
And with not knowing any more than that, it sounds as if something that would be pretty valuable for one or more of us to take in.
yeah, it's the kind of thing that doesn't matter until the day it matters.
Yeah, then it matters in spades.
And it matters a lot. And I have actually been through a national disaster as with a major role. And it is, yeah, I mean, because we had all done major incident planning, it made a huge difference in terms of loss of life and property. And
I wonder, how are people's afternoons looking that day? Could we possibly just reschedule the meeting for like 1 o'clock or something like that?
Pretty sure that could work for me.
that'd work for me. The 28th.
Yeah.
Tuesday, the 28th. So perhaps we should reschedule the afternoon meeting for. What's your pleasure?
I mean, 1 PM gives us time to grab a lunch between finishing up the morning. Does that work if that works for other people, it still gets us out or too late in the afternoon?
Sure. It works for everyone else. It works for me. But we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. And so any further discussion of agenda? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved and now we're on to the minutes.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second? Second, motion and a second. Any discussion? I wasn't sure, Carrie. It looked like the vouchers aren't listed in there. The payroll is, but so I would, Dick, would you like to amend your motion just to incorporate that Carrie can incorporate the list of vouchers?
Certainly.
Okay,
Second.
all right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Are there any visitors to be heard? Yeah. Oh, if you're actually
Oh,
not,
you're on
but
the
you're on the
agenda.
agenda.
yeah.
So, yeah, so you actually have a place here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Rod, you are up with fuel quotes.
We get a fuel quote, the gas quote. Don't know if you want to do them separate or together or whatever.
Should we do them together?
I think so. They were both for Volun Oil.
Well, no, the diesel was, one of them's diesel, one of them's gas.
Right.
Diesel is Wakanda and the gas is Vermillion, so.
I'll just move that we do Wakanda Shop, diesel. Looks like Volun
Number two.
Oil's 339.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? So is there a reason we're not getting more than one bid?
We
I
got
don't-
two.
Yeah,
Two,
we had
yeah.
two, but they just do not. We just discovered the
Strange.
other day that, what one was it? One of these, they changed the one in Centerville. I don't know what that's called now.
It's not Star anymore.
I don't think so. That, and they
For a
changed their
month.
name and so we've been calling the wrong number, leaving a message,
Mhm.
nobody's calling us back. But, like for gas, we got 2 or 4 quotes, but yeah, it just depends on where their transports are that day and some of them don't want to bother. Cause Wakanda only takes 2,700 gallons and so they don't want to come with a large tanker just for 2,700
Yeah,
gallons.
yeah.
So
Okay.
basically, those are the two that bid
The bid.
with a smaller truck.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Gas,
Move to approve, the gas quote for Vermillion Shop at Volun Oil again at 286.9.
Second. 289.6.
289.6. I'm dyslexic here. Thank you.
any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Brad, you had a discussion on
Yeah, it's not,
Grain
wasn't
facility.
sure if everybody knew. That I guess in March, they're breaking ground east of 29 off of 306. Farmers Co-op, right? Or whatever the elevator is in Alcester. They're building a grain facility. Next year, basically, it's gonna be bunkers. Till they get going, but they already plan on taking delivery in the fall. And I discussed it with Union County, which is the unloading or the facilities on his side, but they're figuring when they get going 4,000 to 5,000 trucks a day, and I kind of think that,
Not a day.
I mean, a year. I think that's a little low, but it's still quite a bit of travel on 306th Street.
Right.
Cause I can pretty much figure Volun, Wakanda. Irene, all that stuff is gonna filter down. Through there, so it's just something to be aware of. I have 306. From Hub City East on the list, microservice. And. I might rethink that. After everything gets thawed out and dried out, what kind of a mess we have, if we have a mess over there. So. Just wanted to be aware that I wasn't aware till the Union County Superintendent called me, so. We told them that we have load limits in the spring and they're aware of it, so. I don't know if Union County. Does the old highway,
It is posted.
it does, but the old highway doesn't go on the east side of that, does it? Volun Oil, that don't make it all the way over to the old highway, does it? No, it
Yeah,
does. Okay. Okay.
Are they gonna be in the corner of Volun and 77?
Ah,
Or is it
That
closer to the
I
interstate?
don't know which side of the road
It's gonna
they
be
had.
west of
even
the,
told
west
them.
of the interstate?
No,
then?
east of the interstate. It'll
Yeah,
be in Union County, but
so it'll be up on the old airstrip perhaps, or,
well, the north side of the road there, just off the interstate, the state owns that one little area. They always have a stockpile of chips and stuff.
yeah,
So I'm thinking either east of that on the north side or
yeah. So there was a concrete plant set up there for
Right.
doing the interstate some years ago.
so I'm not, when I get more, when I find out more. Union County ask them for a little more information, like where his driveways are gonna be and what side of the road it's gonna be on. Ain't gonna make much difference for us. It's just the incoming, a lot of incoming going east on 306. So
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I know a little bit about that one. It's gonna be on the north side of the road, right by the, oh geez, it's the intersection of the east-west county road and that, I think, is that the old highway? That's a
Yes.
county road now. It's like a mile, 3/4 of a mile off the interstate, but it's on the north side.
Yeah.
Is what they're talking about doing it.
or is our grade in pretty good shape on 306? It is, I would guess.
yeah, we don't have really too much trouble. Except for like until the snow gets away. But like Travis said earlier, I'm hoping it goes down,
Mhm.
you know. That's about the only time we have trouble there, just a half a mile west of the county line and that low spot, there's really nothing where for it to go, but
Mhm.
other than that, we usually don't have any problems.
We don't have any recurrent soft spots along there.
Not right at the moment. But you know, we've replaced everything east of city. Due to the flood in 19. You know, we did those two big pipes. Right east of city and like 2 years before that, or. We had to do the one a mile and a half east of city. That was like. All three of those structures are like 12 footers. You know, 160 feet long. So that part of it I ain't worried about. It's everything in between.
Do they know that there are load limits on that road?
How the superintendent talked to whoever was talking to him and he, you know, I mean, they. Have the same trouble in Alcester. I mean, they can come in on a state road there, but to get there, they got load limits. I'm not sure what Union County, I think they're at 6 ton on their. Same as we are on our.
I'm
oil
pretty sure
road.
from the interstate to that intersection, they're gonna redo.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Well, I'm sure the state will come in with money and that'll be a 3/4 of a mile that won't be posted, so.
yeah. But since it's the Alcester co-op, see, that's the main road to go to Alcester off the interstate anyway, so they're pretty familiarized, I assume, right? Or-
No,
No,
we're
30
Oh, that's right.
302
That's the one that's
goes to
south.
Alcester.
Yeah, right,
But yeah, they know there's load limits and,
right,
but there's load limits getting to Alcester pretty much.
correct.
But that's all I wanted, just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's all I have.
Great. Well, thank you. So next item on the agenda, is there a motion to go into ditch board?
So moved.
It's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're in ditch board.
So Brad, is this the FEMA portion?
No, that is for the portion that we got worked out. So I visited with the contractor this weekend or yesterday, and he's looking at, he's gonna start removing some trees and he's gonna go in, I think down towards the Vermilion River is where the trees are the thickest. And he needs to remove those by hand. So he's gonna have a crew with chainsaws and drag them out because he can't get his equipment in there to, you know, it's too thick. And he wants to start that next week. He's thinking.
Really?
So evidently where the trees are And I told him, hey, but evidently where the trees are, the channel is not full of snow. So,
Okay. I don't know how that's gonna work for him, but
yeah, we'll see if it's, yeah, I know. But that's what he wants to do.
He's probably been out and checked all of his possible work sites, and that's probably just the best one he's got.
I have a feeling that's the deal, because he got a four-wheeler with some tracks and he just go out there and, yeah.
I've been down that path
Yep.
before.
Yeah,
Is this Two Rivers, Brad?
yes.
Okay.
So we'll see. A lot of times they're notoriously ambitious with their timing. We'll see. But anyway, that's what he told me we're gonna do. I do have an update too on the FEMA portion. So I talked to LaToya yesterday. And so that is, we've kind of done everything that we can do. And now she called it, a peer review. And I have a feeling what that is somebody just double checks it. And then I think that's it, and it'll be approved. So very soon, but that's where the FEMA portion is in FEMA's system right now. So.
Move to approve the ditch, Clay Creek ditch clean out contract.
Yeah,
we've already approved that contract last.
no, I'm sorry. This contract is for me to have a guy go out there once a week and check things and do the pay apps and the
Okay.
construction engineering end of it. That's what that's for. That's for me.
You get paid?
Yeah, once in a while.
Okay. Well,
My boss kind of gets after me once in a while.
no, we can take a motion for that one now.
Okay, we'll take a motion for that. I made a motion for what it says in the
Okay.
in our agenda,
Yeah.
but yes, I'll make a motion for that.
I'll
right.
second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, motion passes. Anything else, Brad?
No, that's it for that project. And Carrie, when that's done, just send that me a copy and I'll take it from there. And I'll fill you in, Travis. I'll send you a text when I know what he's gonna do.
Okay.
So just so you guys all know what's going on.
Brad, are you in the area close or no?
Jesse's gonna be doing it, but I can be, if you got something.
You can look at them piling under the bridge that are all out in the open.
Okay. I'll make a trip. I gotta go to Highmore on Thursday. I'll get with you, Rod, and we'll get those looked at. I already submitted the paperwork, FYI, Rod, that we talked about yesterday. So
Yep.
that's all into the DOT and done.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Anything else, Brad? Very good.
Move to come out of ditch board.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, we're in regular session.
Anything else for me? That's all.
All right, so now we've got the mechanical electric project updates, and it looks like we've got Lynn Remmers and Ryan Vanderbilt online, and we've all got lots of, and Scott's here to talk about it, so Scott, do you want to start?
Sure. We've had a couple times that Lynn and Ryan and the other young man's been here looking at things, going through things, measuring, looking at different routes for duct work. So I guess right now they're calling this 95% completion, which I'm not really sure what that means in the construction world. So that's what we're here to meet about today. I looked through poured over those prints and documents yesterday for about 6 hours. I got quite a few notes or quite a few questions and stuff and some notes. But Lynn and I'm not sure if Ryan's involved in that. We're getting together tomorrow, I believe, or Thursday. Then I'll go over my list of questions with them then. Could draw this meeting out quite a bit if we start going over this stuff, but their answers might be rather short. You know, and anyway, that's kind of where we're at, and just bring Lynn and Ryan up to speed. Geotech was here last week and pulled their samples, so I don't know, that report might be a couple weeks out. Of course, they're testing for what kind of materials in the building as far as asbestos or lead goes, and of course, you know, it's a 1914 structure, so we know it's already here and exists. I guess this report was one of the things we had to get done as a county for this project to go forward, and that was all fortunately done through a grant, so no expense to the county. That was nice. So but that makes the process a little bit longer, but anyway, that's where we're at with that. So hopefully in a couple of weeks we hear something. So I guess I'll just turn this over to Lynn and Ryan and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning. So our intent today is to just give you kind of a brief update where we're at. I believe you've seen, or at least Scott's been in front of this group a few times to give you updates on the project and things. So I know it's not your first time seeing it. So I'm going to do kind of a high level review of kind of where we're at schedule wise, and then just kind of the scope of the project. So everybody's kind of on the same page of what the expectations are. And then, yeah, as Scott said, we're going to do a more in-depth meeting with him and Carrie tomorrow and get into some of his detailed questions and things and coordination. So today, yes, you have the 95% set of documents. Our intent is for this week to kind of be a week where we can do an owner review and then come to the commission next week on Tuesday for more of a formal approval from this group to go take the project into bidding and approve it for bidding. So so we will we'll have some time then this week and next to pull documents together, final documentation, and complete that 100% set. I will share my screen, and I believe you all should be able to see this. So this this diagram, basically what we did is we kind of just used some simple color coding to outline what the scope of the project is, and I guess just a quick at a glance, you can kind of see what's happening. I'm going to pull over here. So quick description of the work. Again, mechanical electrical system upgrades. We are replacing the boiler, adding a ventilation system, replacing some of the fan coil units, adding some controls to that. So there'll be a lot more, more temperature controls than what is currently there. Some of the general work, you know, patching floor and wall openings where we have to bring in new ductwork or piping. Some of the equipment pads, or there's a new equipment unit going on the roof. So some of that work, just patching and repairing what's there. And then we are adding in some ACT acoustic tile ceilings in some of the office spaces and providing new light fixtures. There will be a new fire protection sprinkler system, and that will only be in the courthouse building. We are not having the sprinkler extend to the LEC. And then that will include fire alarm as well. And then the gear replacement, electrical distribution gear replacement is also part of that. Okay, and I'll go back to the diagrams. So kind of our key here, the gray is basically no work, or it's not in our scope of work. The yellow, there'll be some floor, ceiling, or wall grills added in these spaces. In this instance, this is the basement, so these are going to be wall grills more than anything. The light green, we are adding a ceiling, and then ductwork or piping will be hidden above that ceiling. The tan color here, adding a ceiling, ductwork or piping hitting, and then no, or adding new lighting in that spaces as well. The bluish green here, no ceiling, exposed ductwork, and no new lighting. The darker brown, no ceiling, and then the fire protection added. And then miscellaneous project work is this kind of hatch pattern. That'll be, you know, we're running some new piping and things, but very minimal work than from what you see now. Okay, so that's the lower level. Again, most of the spaces is we're getting in some of the fresh air intake into some of these rooms. The boiler room, obviously that's where we're replacing the boiler system and the electrical equipment. For the sprinkler system, we are adding in a water riser room. So in the corner of the room that you're sitting in now, there is a new proposed, well, the existing water line comes into the building in that chase in this corner. And so we're bringing in, and that's kind of where we're connecting the new sprinkler system to. So this corner is we're proposing to capture that for a small water riser room. Okay, any questions thus far on basement or scope? Okay, we'll move up to first floor. Again, same color codes apply, and just kind of give you an intent here. In the offices around the perimeter of the building, we are adding the ceilings, and so there will be in this light orange color, the ductwork will be above the ceiling in this case. The jail, primarily the portions of the cells, not doing a lot of work in these areas. And again, in the jail, no existing lights are going to remain, so there's not a lot of work. We are getting some fresh air into some of these spaces, I believe. And then just to kind of go over the corridor in the center of the building, that main public corridor, our intent is we're leaving, you know, all this as is with the historic finishes. So our goal is to have minimal impact on anything that's happening in the corridors on all three of these floors. We are adding the fire protection, and our intent there is that we're going to try to do just a wall mounted sprinkler heads, so then we're not having to impact ceiling or running exposed pipe through there. Okay, I'll jump up to second floor. Now second floor is we are adding some ceilings again, some of these perimeter offices. A couple of these spaces we are not introducing new lighting, and that's primarily where we have the existing historic pendant light fixtures. We're keeping those as is. So I think in one of those rooms, it's the treasurer office here, that 201 has some of those existing light fixtures. So we're not proposing those to be new, but maintaining those. Otherwise, most of these other rooms get a ceiling added and new lighting as well. And third floor, the two courtroom spaces, there's the larger courtroom and then that smaller courtroom. A majority of the space is going to remain as is. We will have some wall mounted grills for the new fresh air provided into the space. So there will be some of that, but otherwise no ceilings and light fixtures remaining as is in those spaces. And then the perimeter offices, again, getting new ceilings to cover up some of the ductwork that's running on third floor. So that's very high level, and I guess just wanted to give everybody a good indication of what what the work's gonna entail. But if there's any questions, we can entertain those at this point. But again, looking for feedback from, if there's any questions on the documents you do have, feel free to get those to Carrie this week, and we'd be happy to answer any more detailed questions about the project.
So this is going to dovetail pretty well then with the jury room security updates and all that stuff. We've everything dovetailed okay with that, Scott?
Well, I'm assuming we're gonna get the approval. It sounded like it. That was one of my questions I was gonna bring up tomorrow, if that's gonna go ahead. And we're gonna take down that wall in that jury's room, that west wall, how that's gonna impact things. So that was one of my things to discuss tomorrow. Cause I don't know when that project's gonna fall in line with this project. So, cause, until I get the official word and green light, and then we still have to come up with a request for bid thing and they'll let that out for bid. So that could be somewhere down the road, well, after this project is wrapped up. But
I would guess that the main things would be placement of the fire, fire suppression, where they would put fire alarms, where they would put lighting would all be affected by the
Right.
removal of that wall mainly.
Yep. Would be the two big factors, I would think.
Yeah. Would there be much in the courtroom and?
No.
There wouldn't be anything that should change this and there.
Not in either courtroom. I don't see that, no.
But, I think it'd be good for you to, show these guys the plans for those
Okay.
changes
Okay,
and make sure everything's dovetailing so we don't end up
Mhm.
doing things twice or,
okay. I'll give it my best shot.
okay. Okay.
Yep.
But I do think that project is pretty likely the way it sounds.
Right. Right. So, but it's kind of a wild card because I don't know really when. I'm gonna assume the way things roll nowadays, if we get a request for bids going in the next couple months, which is my hope in the next 30 days, that, how far out these contractors, these generals would be to take on a project like that. It might be, 8 months to 12 months out, would be kind of my guess.
Sure.
So, but I'll discuss it with length with Lynn and Ryan here. And try to get all those details ironed out.
Yeah, especially in that west jury room,
That's
where they're
gonna
gonna
be-
add a ceiling too. That would be affected. for
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
So,
So
Good
it's gonna be
thought.
kind of rough, but we'll see what we can get done.
yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right, so at sometime in the near future, this will come back to us again with some more detail. Thanks so much, Lynn and Ryan.
Correct. Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate it. So emergency management hazmat grant, I think Lane is not available today.
Right.
So maybe we'll put that off for the next meeting. And Rachel,
You skipped through.
oh, I'm sorry.
Second reading.
Yep, second reading.
Oh,
Sorry, thank you. Second reading of ordinance 2022-16. And that's the campground facilities.
Yep. Yeah, just correcting the campground facilities, no comments in the last at all. Real straightforward.
And anybody have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a vote. All those in favor of ordinance 2022-16.
We need a motion. first.
Okay.
Your motion.
Oh,
I'll
sorry,
move.
sorry.
Move
Okay,
to-
moved.
I'll second.
Second. And Carrie, I guess it's a roll call vote.
All right, Hammond,
Yes.
Teasy,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Graylobe,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes.
Right. Rachel, it's your turn.
I'm Rachel Bagel. I'm with Marshall Falls.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Alexis, would you like one? Yep. He's actually the bottom You guys like me to sit?
You can.
Sure.
All right.
Great.
So thank you for your guys' time today. Let's just flip open to page 4 and revisit the contribution benchmarking that we touched on last time. Sorry, the numbers are kind of tiny in the corner there. So as we discussed, this benchmark is looking at our office's book of business. So it includes all of our clients in North Dakota, South Dakota, a little bit of Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, all industries and sizes, but it's looking at the average employee monthly contribution. So the average is the employee is picking up $162 per month. If you're in the 25th percentile of our clients, your employee is paying $74. However, as you know, the Clay County is picking up 100% of that. So you guys are absolutely leading the market from an employee only premium perspective. Now, if you go right under that, the family premium, so again, this would be employees who are enrolled in family coverage. I believe there are 4 or 5 of them currently enrolled. This is on average what they would pay per month. So our average client, the family coverage costs $1,054 per month. Clay County is falling right at $790. So you're smack dab in the middle between our average and our 25th percentile. Any questions on that?
I think it's worth mentioning just for our new people that while this includes the whole market, we're probably pretty typical for counties and municipalities in South Dakota. So
Yeah, public sectors tend to have a richer contribution. Yep. Okay, so if you now flip, and this is the whole binder, I'm happy to go through it again, but I thought kind of our big takeaways were contribution and then looking at the alternate plan design that we discussed. So if you flip to page 11, which is behind tab 2. We've got a side-by-side there of the $1,500 deductible plan, which is current. At the bottom, you'll see the current rates versus renewal rates. And then just to the right of there is the $2,000 alternate that we had previously discussed. So this is kind of a side-by-side, so you can see the differences in the plans. Obviously, the deductible goes up a hair, as well as the out-of-pocket max. Other areas to note is copay structure. So right now, an employee is paying $25 for a primary care office visit. That would bump up to $30. The specialist visit is currently $50. That would bump up to $60. They do see a bump in the emergency room copay. However, that part does not concern me at all. We want to encourage employees to utilize office visits, urgent care, telemedicine, things like that versus going to the emergency room. Emergency room is going to cost you as the plan administrator more money because of the higher claim costs. Pharmacy copays, tier 1 bumps up $5, tier 2, 10, tier 3, 20, and tier 4, $40. So those are kind of the main differences. Both plans are still in compliance with the Affordable Care Act. So preventive services are covered at 100%. So no changes there. The big thing is you'll notice that there is some cost savings. If you flip to the next slide, page 12. So this is looking at the contribution if you kept it status quo. So if you renewed the $1,500 plan, the yellow numbers on the right-hand side, that's what the difference in cost would be for the employees per month. So $0 for the employee, It would go up $19.40 per month for employee spouse, $16.53 per month increase for employee children, and a $38.31 increase for family. And again, this is assuming that you would still take the dollar value of the employee cost, shave it off the other tiers and pay 50% of that difference. The employer monthly difference totals to $27,000 or $27,271 per year more if you took the 4.7% increase. So $2,273 per month. Any questions on this one? Okay, so if you flip to the alternate, this is putting into consideration if you move to the $2,000 alternate, you'll notice that there's good cost savings on that side. So the employee total difference annually is employees, all 51 of them, would save in total $2,586 a year. However, Clay County would save $15,647 per year if you kept your contribution the same, but just increased your deductible by that $500. It's also important to note that these savings are based off of enrollment at the time that Wellmark released your renewal. So if you've had any increase or decrease in enrollment, the numbers would be a little different, but your employees, their annual cost savings, zero obviously for family, employee spouse, they save $136.08 annually. Employee children, $115.92, family, $268.56. So I'm going to move around on you, but let's go back to the benchmarking and look at the plan design benchmarks. So if you go to slide 3, this is that plan design benchmarking that we had looked at last time. So slide 3 behind tab 1. So I think if anything, this is going to show you that while employees will be taking an increase on that plan design, even if you bumped up that $500, you'd still well be within our benchmark. Right now, orange is what Clay County's benefit is. If you bumped up to a $2,000 deductible, you'd be right in alignment with our most common, or what a lot of our employers are offering. So that $2,000 represents 36% of what we see for an individual deductible. Family deductible right now is $4,500. The alternate is $6,000. That's what 41% of our clients have for a family deductible. Most common out-of-pocket max is $6,000, but Clay County currently has $3,000 for individual, and the alternate is $4,000. So you're still good there. 80% is the most common co-insurance. Both of the alternates are that. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't know that necessarily you're going to hear a lot of disruption. I will say that in general, when I see clients increase their deductibles, it's usually a year where it's out of necessity because they're taking a pretty big increase. And so if you had a $3,000 or $3,500 deductible currently, my recommendation would be to maybe save that increase for a year where you're looking at a double-digit increase. But you still offer a very rich benefit. And so I don't know that bumping it up would ding you. So that's kind of my 2 cents. What questions do you guys have?
My question's for Carrie. How much did we budget for total premium for the year? Do you remember?
Typically, I budget about 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be conservative. And keep in mind, Clay County has run really well the last 3 years. Claims are cyclical, right? Cancers can pop up, NICU babies can pop up. And so I guess enjoy the ride right now because higher claims are inevitable at some point. Yeah.
Questions or comments? Yeah, as somebody who's had, spent years with kind of catastrophic medical bills,
Mhm.
those deductibles do matter.
Mhm.
And I would tend not to want to change that as you suggested unless we absolutely had to. For a family that's, has an ill member, those thousands of dollars can make a big difference.
So we need to decide today what we want to do, right? You need to know.
So I would say if you could make a decision in the next week or two, all of the information will need to be submitted to the carrier no later than March 15th. I guess I don't want to answer that for you. When are you wanting to wrap up open enrollment?
I would like to have it wrapped up by March 15th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
I didn't
mean,
know if you were trying to get it
but I
done by
would-
March or.
I would say ideally.
I
I
think
think
even
we
if-
did, I think we did like the first week in March last year, didn't we?
Yeah, and we're what, February 7th? I think even if we can get a decision in the next week or two, we could do open enrollment that last week in February or first week in March. Either way, giving yourself a few days to hunt people down if you need to get some elections, but I think we have time if you guys need to sit and think about it.
I'm good with the plan.
The current plan.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sticking with the 1,500 and,
Mhm.
or what we had last, exactly.
Yep,
what
the
we had.
1,500, yep.
Everybody else ready?
That's
Or,
my inclination as well, I think. I think if
Sounds
we're-
like what makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think again, a year where you're looking at a 8, 10, 12, 15% increase, that's when typically I recommend increasing your deductible to help shave some points off of your increase. The 4.5 is well under what we're seeing for medical trend. I did go back to Wellmark and try to negotiate it. Your loss ratio, last year you got a 2.8% increase and your loss ratio was actually higher than it is right now. So I made the argument that you've consistently performed well under their target loss ratio. However, they have concerns. There's 5 high cost claimants that are just recurring every year. And their conditions, at any point can have flare ups. So they're being conservative. But I tried to fight for you.
we appreciate that.
So,
So would somebody like to make a motion?
So moved to accept the plan.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So current plan.
Current plan.
Yeah.
Same contribution. Okay,
Mhm.
and then for all the other lines of coverage, last time we did not motion to approve those. Were there any questions or objections to everything else, the disability, life, dental, vision?
Yeah. Do you want a motion on that?
Does this all look good to you? For those supplements?
Yeah. So maybe to just be correct, we should have a motion on
The ancillary.
the
Yep.
ancillary
I move
benefits.
to approve the ancillary as we had them previously.
Is there a second? It's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all for your. time.
Well, thank you, Rachel.
You.
You made it really clear
Good.
Yeah.
and I
Good.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
So we have a few other items here. One is building project contracts, and I think the architecture contract is the one that's outstanding, but we just got it this morning. So we should probably give ourselves some time and give Alexis some time.
So she doesn't look at these. That's what Jim Weiderich, right?
Okay, Jim
And
Weider
he's,
does it.
he's already given us the letter. He's blessed it.
Okay,
He's
Okay.
good with it.
okay. So do we want to go ahead with that JLG contract today?
Yep, the only one we have is the architect one.
Okay.
We don't have the CMAR one yet.
Okay.
Right.
So are we prepared to go ahead with architecture contract?
I'd say, yeah, so moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, then, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any building project updates, Travis?
No,
It's still going along, like a house
Yeah.
on fire?
I thought we had a meeting Thursday, but I don't have anything on my calendar. I need to ask Lynn. I don't know. Lynn, are you still on?
I am. It is on Friday. It got moved to Friday.
It's Friday this week?
Yep. I'll
Okay.
double check and make sure you're on that invite.
I should be. I just looked at Thursday, so.
Okay. Yep. We moved it to Friday to accommodate some conflicts Andy had.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Any executive session needed?
I believe Rod has something for personnel.
Okay,
All right.
so I would entertain a motion to go into executive
To go into executive
session
session.
for personnel
Second.
matters. There's a motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are starting
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're out of executive session.
Move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The meeting is adjourned. And thank you to all.
And we are adjourned until the next one is next Tuesday and then it's 1 p.m. on the 28th. Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Yep.